He's like your exact opposite.
So he's Bizarro Jerry.
Bizarro Jerry?
People still stop me on the street and say Bizarro Jerry. And it's crazy because that was a long time ago. Yeah. I'd have to describe Kevin as somebody who is, the first word that comes to mind is nice and not self-centered. Basically the opposite of Jerry and George and, well, Elaine was in the middle of it. But yeah, anything that was not egocentric the way those guys were.
Jerry, George, Kramer. This is Kevin, Gene, and Feldman.
I would watch him, and there was in the scene where we both meet each other, Elaine's in the middle. I just remembered, if Jerry frowns, I'm going to smile more, and if he's a bit standoffish, I'm going to be a little nervous, but again, just play opposite of Jerry. It was a blast, and afterwards he said that this was one of his favorite episodes because, they got to make fun of themselves, and he loved that. When Elaine went to the refrigerator and just started eating some olives and didn't ask.
Hey, what are you doing?
Eating olives?
Ever hear of asking? We'd have been more than happy to give her some, but you've got to ask. Yeah, that's the line I remember most.
See you later, Elaine. Feldman and I got to get down to the library.
What are you going to do down there?
Read.
Why are you guys going to the library? That's funny in and of itself. Why are you going to the library? To read. and then Jerry's got a scene later where he says, I read. And he says it like this 4-year-old. And it's brilliant.
They do good things. They read.
I read.
Books, Jerry.
And then she says, books, Jerry, books.
All right. Hey, Elaine. Feldman was able to get us all tickets to the Bolshoi. 4th row center.
Get out!
When she pushed me down, when she did her get out, there was a big, pad behind the couch, so it wasn't going to hurt. But I will say, she pushed me much harder than I expected. I thought I was going to kind of have to, help her with the force and make it look like it. No, I just had to be there. And she, boom, very forceful, physical, tough. It's a good push.
I got it. Oh, you got it last time.
Don't worry about it.
This is unbelievable.
The biggest thing I remember about being cast on Seinfeld was that when I auditioned for the first episode, Jerry laughed. Jerry was in the room, and that surprised me and scared me, but he laughed. Got the role, and about 3/4 of the way through filming the first episode, Jerry came up to me with the Bizarro episode and handed it to me and said, do you want to do this? I thought, I don't know why I said it, but I said, well, let me read it first, as if it was not going to be good and I would have to say no. So I read it and I thought, this is hilarious. This is going to be a classic.
Oh, I get all jazzed up about something and I go way too far with it.
My favorite memory of working on the set was just chilling with Julia when there was nothing going on and we were hanging out on the couch and just talking. She's a wonderful, friendly, intelligent woman, and I enjoy her company immensely. And the other thing, when I was sitting in the booth in the first episode that I shot,
If I don't want children, does that make me a bad humanitarian?
Not at all.
there was a moment where I thought to myself, I'm in the booth. I'm in the booth that is part of television history. It was as if I felt like I was, that's what other guest stars must have felt like when they were in, I don't know, the newsroom of Mary Tyler Moore or something like that. It hit me. And all of a sudden, all of my acting chops and acting thoughts went out the window. And I was no longer Kevin. I was Tim DeKay in Los Angeles, in Studio City, in the booth.
Hi, Elaine.
Hi, Kevin. Oh.
I run into Julia every so often, and it's always great to see her. I ran into Jerry years ago at an opening night of a play, and I just kind of waved to him from a distance. I didn't want to bug him. Tim DeKay, how are you? What's going on? So it was great.
What's up?
Just reading.
Kevin now still has the same apartment because his friends are nearby and the library's nearby, and they can just go there and read. I think he might have gotten a job at the library. Yeah.
I can't spend the rest of my life coming into this stinking apartment every 10 minutes to pore over the excruciating minutia of every single daily event.
I think Seinfeld is beloved because it's the kind of comedy that is daring because you think, because it's so personal, people aren't going to laugh at it. I think sometimes television has a tendency to go to this general kind of comedy that, well, everybody can laugh at that. But if Seinfeld went to a place that is very intimate and personal in a weird way with comedy, and it trusted that all of us would get it, and we did.
Guys, I gotta go.
It was daring because it said, I know this kind of comedy has not been done, but we know it's funny, we feel it's funny, and we think the audience will as well. And we're smarter in comedy than a lot of television thinks the audience is.